Adverb placement with auxiliary verbs. Unlock the mystery. Hello, English learners. Today, we'll be delving into the world of adverbs and their placement within sentences, focusing specifically on their relationship with auxiliary verbs. We'll unravel the rules and exceptions, with plenty of examples to help you master this fundamental grammar rule. Before we begin exploring adverb placement, it's important to understand what we mean by auxiliary verbs. Also known as helping verbs, these verbs are used together with the main verb in a sentence to create different tenses, moods, voices, and aspects. The most common auxiliary verbs are be, have, and do. For example, I am eating an apple. You have finished your homework. They did play football. Generally, when a sentence contains an auxiliary verb, the adverb is placed between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. This is the most common rule for adverb placement with auxiliary verbs. For example, I am usually eating at this time. You have clearly finished your homework. They did not play football. Here, usually, clearly, and not are adverbs modifying the verbs eating, finished, and play, respectively. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule. Not all adverbs are placed between the auxiliary and the main verb. Some adverbs, especially those that talk about frequency, like always, often, sometimes, can be placed at the beginning or end of the sentence for emphasis or style. For example, sometimes, I am eating at this time. You have finished your homework, clearly. Rarely did they play football. What happens when there are multiple auxiliary verbs? Fear not. In such cases, the adverb usually goes after the first auxiliary verb. For example, I could always be found at the library. You should never have left the party. We had not previously met. That's all for this video. We've learned about the auxiliary verbs, how to generally place adverbs with these auxiliary verbs, and what exceptions to keep in mind. Remember, practice is key. The more you use these structures, the more natural they'll become. See you in our next English grammar exploration. Happy learning!